Hi, welcome to March Mat-ness 2026. Today is your first Friday fundamentals, and today we're going to be talking about breathing and the hundreds. Okay, so today I'm going to be using a magic circle and a band. If you don't have these, no problem. You can use a yoga strap or just a towel to simulate the band. It's just for tactile feedback, and for the circle, if you have any kind of ball instead of a circle, that will also work. Okay, so the breathing is kind of the epicenter of Pilates. It is actually how we get the best core muscle engagement. Very early on in Pilates, when he worked with clients, he didn't talk about pulling your belly button to spine. He talked about exhaling and then inhaling expanse. And he used the breath to really drive that core muscle connection. So really fundamental to our Pilates practice. In Pilates, we generally inhale through the nose, we exhale out the mouth. Okay, that's just how it goes. You can feel free to change that if that works better, but the method was designed to be done that way. We also don't always use like a full inhale, full exhale. Sometimes we use short staccato breathing, longer exhales, longer inhales. It depends on the intention, the exercise. Okay, so we are going to practice breathing because it can feel a little bit goofy. And so I love to use the band for breathing practice. And so go ahead and put your band or your towel around your back. It's kind of around mid-back, bra strap area if you're someone who wears one. And then we're just going to hold onto the band so we have some feedback in our back. So it's not very loose, it's kind of tight here. Okay, so we can push into it. And we're just going to practice our inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth, and we'll just kind of disregard the band, just holding it first. So we'll just inhale, exhale. And as we go here, nice and easy, start to pay attention to where your inhale goes. Are your shoulders coming up? Are you collapsing forward on your exhale? Okay, where is your breath directed? And so now let's direct the inhale into our band. We'll try and keep our shoulders pretty relaxed, so the space between the ear and the shoulder. And when you inhale, you're pushing back into the band. So we're expanding the rib cage to the back. And as you go, you might notice that that's opening up the back, and so it becomes easier to sit up tall, okay? And now here, I'm gonna put a little more tension on the band, so when I inhale, I'm going to pull the band forward, and when I exhale, I'm just gonna return. Because again, we're just focusing on inhale. So my rib cage and my arms are working in opposite directions. Nice. And now for our exhale, we are going to, for this first round, focus on just exhaling all of the air out of our lungs. Okay, however long that takes for you, that's what we're going to do. And as you exhale, the mouth is open and our jaw is relaxed. Okay, so the open mouth helps to relax these jaw muscles, okay, at that joints. So we'll inhale, exhale. And as you exhale, you should feel naturally your abdominal muscles start to engage, your belly starts to pull in as the diaphragm moves. Now you may also notice there's spinal movement with our inhale and exhale. So as we exhale, there is a tendency to flex the spine forward. So we don't want to overdo it. So this time I'm going to have you inhale, push into your band, exhale, Continue to sit up tall, even as we're drawing everything in. Okay, so let's inhale, exhale. Let's go one more. Very nice. Okay, and now I'm going to talk a little bit about rib cage. Okay, for a long time, I feel like in the industry, there was this talk of like pulling down the ribs. Okay, what that does is it doesn't really engage our abdominal muscles very well. It just creates this pooch and puts a lot of tension in the neck. Okay, so we're actually going to think of, instead of the ribs going down, we're going to think of them going around. So they're working as a cylinder and closing in. So very classically, when I was being trained, we called it knitting the ribs. Okay, so they're going to pull together in the front, and I like to think of the lowest ribs coming around to the front. Okay, so that we eliminate this kind of excess thoracic flexion. Okay, so let's practice that. You can use the band still if you want, or you can use your hands to feel how your fingers will come closer together. So let's inhale and exhale. And inhale. And one more inhale. Okay, by the end, maybe you have shrunk quite a bit. Okay, that's all your deep core muscles and your superficial abdominal muscles working together to get that really forceful exhale, pulling the diaphragm back up. Okay, so now our challenge will be to, as we exhale, we're gonna hold those lower ribs close together towards your belly button, and the inhale expanse will come in the upper rib cage and the back. And that is how we sustain deep core muscle engagement. Okay, so let's take our normal inhale. Let's exhale, shrink our rib cage. Let's hold our low ribs down, or in, not down, right? And then our sternum will stay up on the inhale, and then we exhale, even further contract. And inhale, and exhale. And one more time, inhaling, exhaling around. And that's Pilates breathing and core muscle engagement. It's not about jamming down. It's not about sucking in. It's about using the breath to really get that deep connection. All right. And so now for the hundreds, we did 100 or 2 in our previous classes, but I wanted to wait till today to really discuss it. So this is where we get the staccato breathing. Okay, it warms up the body, it gets the heart moving, gets your circulation going. It's why Joseph Pilates put it first. So in the hundreds, we inhale for a count of 5 with 5 breaths. So it's, we'll just start here. Okay, and then on the exhale, it's 5 breaths out. Okay, and you can see probably this rise in my rib cage and the fall in my rib cage. Okay, and that's when we actually do it, we're going to want to move from the center a little bit more than maybe I was in this sitting position. But let's try that breathing just here, and I'll cue you a regular inhale, regular exhale, and let's go 3 rounds of that staccato breathing. Okay, so regular inhale here, regular exhale, and let's inhale 2, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, out 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and that's it. Take a normal breath and relax. Now for the full 100, we are moving our arms up and down in time. It is not a flap of the hands or at the elbow, and it's not up here. Okay, our 100 is an abdominal curl. Okay, so we have further compression here in the abdominals. and we move from the shoulder, okay? It's a lot of tricep and posterior shoulder work, and we work as a unit here. And so if that is too much for you, you can always just hold, and just hold the inhales and then hold the arms on the exhale. Okay. You can also do the 100 with your, oh, well, let's get into hundreds actually. Oh, I guess I didn't really use the circle today. That's okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and lay on our backs and we'll work through our hundreds, okay? So I like to start in with knees bent, okay? Feet flat on the ground and arms by your side. So you do want to find some posterior shoulder connection. So collarbones are wide. And then when we lift into our 100, it's this little bit of abdominal curl. It's not very high. Please do not try to lift all the way up. It should be just to your shoulder blades. It's almost more like just a flexion in the neck and then a little pulling down of the rib cage. Okay, so you're not very far off the floor. And then your arms will naturally lift, but they're not rolled forward. Okay, here. And then you can also keep your legs down. You can keep your legs in chair position. You can extend them up, or you can lower them down. The full 100, when you're very proficient, will be just barely off the ground, okay? That's really hard. You can also play with these. You can lift one leg, lower, lift the other as you go. You can go from chair position to straight leg or chair position to out. Just kind of play with it and see what position is challenging but doable. Okay, right? We're not doing hard for the sake of hard, where we're sacrificing form. Okay, we want to make sure it's doable, achievable. And then you'll see over the next few weeks how your 100 will maybe not be easy, but it will improve and you can advance it. So let's just do a full 100 here. I am going to keep my legs down so that I can count for you. So I won't be cueing very much, but I will be counting for you. You can choose whatever leg position works best for you. So we'll take a regular inhale, regular exhale to float the head up and connect it to the core. And let's inhale 2, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, into 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, into 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, into 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, into 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in, halfway through. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, into 4, 5, out 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 2, 3, 4, 5, hold and release down. And that is your 100. All right, please, any questions you have about breathing or this, please let me know. And otherwise, I will see you tomorrow on Saturday for our spine stretching.